of 5 grand finals. In the meantime, make sure to check out g2a.com/dotapit to well, enter in some giveaways. We have Dota 2 cosmetics as well as hardware to give away, so make sure to check that out. As OG will be on the Radiant side this time, and EG on the Dire side, and we're going to see if they are going to swap it up with the bans. OG last time banned out Slaughter as well as Darkseer.
OG being the first pick this time. Well, last time it was EG. So they same sides, but different things. And OG does ban out the Underlord instantly, even though they are first pick.
Means they might want to get their hands on that Shadow Demon themselves.
Nope.
Never mind.
Nope.
No Shadow Demon here.
So if they don't ban Nyx, I don't think EG have to ban on Ember Spirit, perhaps.
That could be.
It's kind of the same thing with like the last pick anti-mage they did earlier too. It's just really
Right.
bad, but all right.
Just, I mean, it's a threat.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Whatever.
There's still Naga.
There is still Naga.
Still Naga.
We have seen Anna struggle a lot today, but this was the one game where he felt like totally at ease. It was, you know, he dominated that game.
Yep.
So perhaps you just want to make sure that he feels a little bit more pressured on the hero that he's maybe a little bit less skilled with.
I think that's who you target.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Slardar will be picked up then by OG as their first one. A versatile hero for them. We have seen S4 as well as Jarex play it, so they keep that up in the air for now.
Darkseer's left in the pool this time. OG did ban it in the first two last time, so Universe, if he wants to grab it, can.
Ember
as well.
Wisp.
So what do you give priority to?
Could even be a Rubik. I like Rubik sometimes versus a Slardar, but Ember picked up.
No surprises there.
Ember Lone Druid.
Lone Druid's
All right, he's back.
First two.
First two, second time in a
Crazy.
row. How do you counter the Lone Druid? What do you do, apart from racing?
Things that can get to the back line, just like Ben said before.
Yep.
Because he's
Just
just
run at him.
relatively squishy if you do get in his face.
Last game, Lone Druid wasn't actually the problem. It was,
Yeah, it was the
the
elf.
elf. But I think the Centaur was a pretty good draft. That was the cool thing about OG's draft. You think the Lone Druid is going to be the problem, but then, boom, Alchemist.
Yeah.
Your whole entire plan is ruined.
I really like the Lone Druid with the Ember Spirit too, since Ember doesn't hit buildings at all. Lone Druid's that one that can actually be able to do that. And he's a physical damage dealer, since Ember's pretty much only built magic now, so they have that array diversity in their damage.
I think he's one of the better heroes to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Good physical damage versus the Ember Spirit, good burst with Slardar.
If you're Evil Geniuses, you're thinking about your support matchups.
Once.
I don't think EG are the type to run
No,
support
yeah,
stuff.
definitely not. We did see it a lot at WSG for Noya, but
Yeah.
that seems like a very Cloud9 thing to do.
I think they're more likely to run like Omni Knight or Abba, I feel. Maybe.
Yeah. It used to be the old EG strategy when they had the 5 knights, Rogue Knight, Dragon
that was
Knight,
so long ago.
Holy Knight. I don't know what the other 2 knights were. That was a very long
Dragon
time ago.
Knight.
Dragon Knight. And then, there's one more. No,
Don't remember.
Omni Knight. There you go.
There you go.
So they used to run that sometimes. Will be Clockwork that gets removed from the pool. Interesting ban. Does that give anything away about what OG is going to do?
I think Clockwork's very good versus Slardar and just gets that, like, you're able to protect your Lone Druid. Just cause ruckus in the one side of the fight while Lone Druid can kind of just beat on people inside of the cogs.
Remaining. 5 seconds.
Evil Geniuses have removed the Chen from the pool so far. I'm thinking about their next ban, and it will be Anna's Invoker that they remove.
OG's turn to ban.
The Chen. Does OG doesn't play the Chen that much, do they?
Not that I've seen, really.
No. It's,
Why would they ban out the Chen?
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm really not too sure about that one. I'm
10
trying to think,
seconds
maybe.
remaining.
Some type of like group up death ball with the bench, but
EG's turn to pick.
OG focusing their bans on Universe, kicking out that Darkseer.
It is interesting that the Luna is still in the pool. It is a pretty good combination with the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, you have the Lone Druid.
The Lone Druid is
The Lone
just-
Druid is
I
enough
think
to
it's-
counter that?
I think it's so good. I think it's honestly one of the best counters
But
right
the
now
push
for the
potential
Luna.
coming out from them already.
5 seconds remaining.
We've evolved, Shiver.
We've evolved from Luna. Okay, Luna is out of our minds.
Coming to your pubs
Yep.
tomorrow.
Lone Druids. Well, let's see what they end up going for and if we can read anything into that. So far, I mean, Lone Druid and Ember Spirit is pretty pretty straightforward what they're planning.
Maybe some sustain, something to deal with the minus armor, like a
Yeah.
dazzle or something along those lines. Don't really see Crit grab it up too often for himself, but yeah, the Rubik.
OG's
Just hero
turn
that's been
to
getting
pick.
grabbed more and more. Deny pick kind of away from Jarex too, since he's been playing a lot of these heroes and just like pull to the lanes. Pudge, Rubik. Maybe we see EG even do those pulls this game.
10 seconds
On the
remaining.
dire side, that is possible.
5
You're familiar with that,
seconds
Fog.
remaining.
You need Observer Ward, right?
For the dire one, you need an observer ward to pull the ancients to the mid lane, yeah. But you can pull the offlane really easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's super easy.
Just eat a tree.
Yeah. Shoot, with Rubik, you can just you might as well eat the trade. There's no point in not doing it. Safest way to do it. OG. Probably wanting something, some more like a team fight.
Are we expecting this Vengeful Spirit to be a support?
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
Not sure
Still
yet.
open-ended.
Open-ended. All right. Well, they're taking into their bonus time quite heavily, so they got to make up their mind fairly soon.
The Enigma's left in the pool this game too,
Yeah.
and EG already took the Rubik.
All right.
Massive minus armor.
And
EG's turn.
very
some
early
armor.
reveal of their mid hero. I know they don't have last pick, I believe, this game.
They already know the Emperor's going mid,
Yeah.
so
So
there's that.
how is Anna going to do in this
Enigma,
mid
yeah.
matchup?
I knew it. Like they deny pick the
OG's
Rubik,
turn
go
to
for the
pick.
Enigma in the fourth pick because it wasn't banned this time around.
Venge
Venge
is
is
pretty
there.
good.
Yeah, Venge
Yeah.
is there to be able to cancel the black hole.
At least Enigma can help his team with some armor.
Mm-hmm.
With the Greaves, perhaps.
Yeah, it seems like that mech carrier thing is coming
10
into
seconds
fruition a lot in the
remaining.
7.0 patch. Just having that type of sustain, go for those group up potential.
5 seconds remaining.
I still think they have heavy armor issues, though. 3 minus armor heroes and no plus armor on your team.
Reserve time.
Yeah, I guess Battlecry. Does Battlecry even give you? Yeah, Battlecry.
Yeah,
gives-
Battlecry still does.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that's it. That's rough.
10 seconds remaining.
What if OG grabs Dazzle here too? Right? The Venge Dazzle. 'Cause then it'll probably
5
indicate which one's
seconds
going to be
remaining.
support or not, though. But they go for
It
the
will be
Weaver,
really
even
the
more
Weaver.
minus armor. So
EG's
All right.
turn
Ooh.
to ban.
definitely think EG needs to go for something to address all this with such squishy.
Still going back for the Sven support?
Heroes.
I mean, sure, Dazzle is nice to have for the armor, but Sven offers a lot more.
Definitely not this game.
Definitely not this game. But you can get a nice silence on the Brewmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Next game. Who knows?
Next time.
Who knows? Better luck
Next
time.
tournament.
Next tournament. You're going to have to wait a little while then. A long while, actually. All right. So, EG. You already feel like they are on the backhand of this draft? Or is the Brewmaster... The Brewmaster's good in this draft, surely, for OG.
I do like this Brewmaster pickup. I didn't like it some of the other games they did grab it, but it's very good versus Lone Druid.
I think let's do Lich. I forgot Lich has a counter to minus armor, but I haven't seen that hero in ages.
You get a lot of denies. You can deny with
Nice.
Enigma, you can deny...
Makana loses lane.
Really taking their time.
Yeah.
There's not that really many.
There's not that many
You can get
options.
Helmet Dominator too. If there's
Yeah.
any Helmet Dominator, Silencer, Helmet Dominator, any support Helmet Dominator, Lich with Helmet Dominator.
You can get yourself a Vladimir's offering very early on if you want.
Yeah.
Get some extra auras up.
I don't think we're forgetting about any certain hero. Just nothing's really standing out.
Yep.
Perhaps that is the problem that EG is having right now as well. They're taking their
10
time for sure.
seconds remaining.
Or perhaps they already have made up their mind and they're just discussing how they're going to run their lanes.
5 seconds
And it will be the Winter Wyvern, as you mentioned,
Wu.
Ben. But you don't seem too happy about being right.
Winter Wyvern's good. I would have liked it more if they like didn't ban out the Drow and then let them pick the Drow and then got the Winter Wyvern. But
Okay.
it's still pretty good. It's not armor, but Cold Embrace is just as good as having tons of armor. And if you curse anyone, they're gonna die. And I think even the Brewmaster in this situation. So I think it's a good way to deal with the Brewmaster. And it's also an amazing setup for Enigma Black Hole.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, is it enough to have EG being your favorite for this game?
I'm liking OGs.
I am also.
Oh god, I
Are you
sang
sure
Ben.
you want to side with
Don't
Vlad?
side with me.
yeah. Okay,
been
I'll
wrong
go with
about
EG.
You're gonna go with
I
EG.
believe the Winter Wyvern
Okay.
and the Enigma.
I like OG's, yeah, the overall minus armor strategy. They have objective takers. They
10
have
seconds
only like the
remaining.
Panda ult is their long, like, really big, long team fight ultimate, while EG is
5
pretty reliant on
seconds
the
remaining.
Wyvern ultimate. So yeah, I'm gonna go with OG.
All right, another split panel. We're going to find out which of our panelists is going to be right after the second game. It is over to OD Pixel and Gods.
Prepare for battle.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Indeed, game 2 now. OG against Evil Geniuses. Gods. Again, we're seeing some different stuff coming out from both of the sides. We're being able to again get to enjoy the EG's Enigma. OG with his heavy minus armor strap, finishing up with the Brewmaster, and in response, EG picking up the Wyvern. A similar question was asked on the panel. Is the Wyvern enough here, Gods?
Look where Jerix is, by the way.
Oh,
Just
chilling.
yeah. Just quick point. He TP'd and Shikuchi'd on up. I think he must have TP'd to the shrine. I didn't actually see, but he's got all the vision for his team to get a first blood here.
Sneaky here from OG. Can they get the lead in Fly? He is going to need to have the magic missile. Jarek's already finding on Sumail. He has been found out. Have they got the follow-up? There's actually going to be a telekinesis in response. Crit holds back Jarek's and no follow-through control. So Sumail able to walk away from this. OG, so they want to stick around and secure the control around this rune spot, and it does look like they will do so.
Yeah, they're going to maybe go for the triple rune, but Lone Druid's already sending his bear to the other side to secure himself this bounty rune. I believe no one's going to actually get there in time unless Jerix like Shikuchi's on over, so.
The battle begins.
He's like, are they still there? Yeah, they're still there. Double bounty rune for Arteezy.
And the power of the LD, as you were mentioning. Arteezy off to a very tasty start in terms of the gold. Lane-wise, what are we going to be having? Arteezy up on the top. Will be backed up by Crit. Mid lane at the moment, Zai helping Sumail out with the creep block. Off-lane Universe on Enigma. And always interesting to see as well another little switch around that we had to talk about. No-Tail playing the Brewmaster, and S4, of course, will be sticking to the offlane on the Slardar.
No-Tail's has played the Brewmaster a decent amount in the past. Much more tempo control, and that's what they did well. Having him on a tempo controlling. Last game was more of an actual carry, but he was still the one creating space for Ana in the mid lane. And it's not going to be too different this game. I imagine he's going to look for like a fast blink timing and then try and push this bottom tier 1 early, then rotate up top. He's the one designed to counter Arteezy on the Lone Druid in this match.
Very, very interesting decision to see already. In the mid lane, starting off, Jarex did come in. It looked to put a bit of harassment down onto Sumail, but we saw with Zai's backup, they were able to hit very, very hard back onto Jarex. He's just going to look to clear up this little camp, get himself as close as he can to that level 2. Top lane at the moment, Artur trying his best to zone out S4. And as we can see, just the control here for the bear and the range of the Lone Druid doing pretty well. And making sure that the Slardar isn't too much of an issue for Arteezy farming in that lane.
Yeah, imagine the idea for OG is they want to contest this offlane. The Slardar Weaver duo is very powerful. And if Jerix can get a fast level and then just go and contest this offlane, they've got potential for a kill on Arteezy once Slardar has boots, which he's just 25 gold away from.
Bottom lane. Universe, level 2 at the moment. It's 2 for free. He's been able to get a little bit out of this lane. The mid lane matchup, Ana versus Sumail, always something that we want to keep a close eye on. Starting off very even. Is this kind of expected, do you feel, between these two heroes? Are we going to see someone take a lead because of the hero matchup?
The key thing for SF is to get souls in the first 2 or 3 waves, which he's done. He's got 6 last hits, which is enough to get him at least enough damage to start winning the CS battle. It gets very hard for Ember to last hit against the Shadow Fiend once souls come into the equation. SF will just heavily out-damage in the lane. So Sumail may be talking about getting rotations. There's already a Winter Wyvern sitting behind him. What Ember has, though, is some perhaps kill potential, but you've got to save those raises. If Ember goes on you, you want to burst down that Flame Guard as soon as possible. Level 1, very easy to do so. Gets harder at level 2, so we'll see how Ana deals with that, because you need the level 2 raises or a level 3 raise to break that level 2 Flame Guard.
See Universe here trying to interrupt with the pull through that Fly has made. No-Tail is going to wrap around as well. Universe has to be careful here.
Yeah, no boots on the No-Tail Brewmaster just yet.
And looks like that is indeed enough to keep Universe safe. Mid lane, Sumail starting to push in. We're going to see Jarex eyeing up Zai. He's going to look to chase him down. Zai will find himself a haste rune. Can he get himself into position for anything? We'll be able to take away Radiant's bounty rune, at the least. Unlikely to find anything successful offensively at the moment. Jarex again, just running into Zai. The two of them trading right clicks at the moment. Fly, looking for a bit of a wraparound onto Universe, but again, Not wanting to go in on him, as they know between the two of them they haven't got the potential to kill him. Mid lane though, a bit of a go through here. Sumail moved in onto Ana. Jerax trying to fend back the Ember Spirit. Has to be careful because Zai, with this burn, doing a heavy amount of damage. In fact, with the Splinter Blast, bringing Jerax incredibly low.
He panic verified too. He's like, oh god, there's a Splinter Blast coming. It's level 1 though. If it was level 2, would have perhaps gone. But they've got a 2-man shrine here, so this is still efficient trading for OG, but similarly EG, they 2-man shrine, so both sides get the 2-man shrine going, and all of that action nullified. But now there won't be those shrines kicking in. Ana still has his salve, Sumail's close to his bottle. Ana, though, not close to his bottle, went for the boots first, which I like this option. You know Sumail, he plays super aggressive. He's just always up in your face. He wants to punish and bully you in lane, and with the Winter Wyver's presence, that's something he can definitely do. So Ana says, I want boots, I want the extra regen. He has the salve, so just a very defensive approach to this mid lane, which is fine.
Two safe laners at the moment, getting pretty much uninterrupted farm. No-Tail and RTZ having a grand old time. The off-laners, S4, nearly reaching onto level 4. 7 and 2 CS over on the side of EG. Universe only level 2 and has already backed off into the jungle, so S4, see if he can actually chase this down. Crit.
S4 a little bit out of range, but he is going to perhaps go, no, not going to go for the loop around. Finds Universe, though.
Let's see if they can do anything about this here. Sprint back up in a couple of seconds. Universe being body blocked up. There will be a call for a pause from No-Tail.
It's
and
unfortunate
a DC.
time.
I mean, how's this going to pan out, Gods? We're seeing S4 with a crush available.
Crit's got nothing, so it's very... They could swap targets to Crit, but
yeah.
I don't know if S4 can actually get close enough for Crit. There is boots on the Rubik, so he's likely going to just turn tail and run, perhaps like right-click once and run away. Universe, yeah, he's tanky-ish, ring of protection. I think likely, what, no one dies here?
No one dies here? You don't think?
No,
surely
with
they go for
Blightstone,
crit.
yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah, Universe could Malefice S4 to try and hold back S4 from
I feel like
crit.
this is one of those like puzzles in the newspaper.
It is.
What happens
Who
next?
dies?
Here's the pause. Who dies?
I think should Malefice S4 and hold him back?
No one.
Oh, so sorry, no, Universe if he needs to. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And you are correct, Scots. You win the quiz. No one dies.
It's one of those tough moments where I feel like as a analog Picasso, I was like, I hope I get this one right.
I know, we have it. No first blood yet between the two sides. We are going to have another pause, unfortunately.
Board placed near this bottom lane / jungle. Fly looking to perhaps set up to pressure this bottom tier 1 tower and make sure that if Enigma ever comes back to lane, they can punish him. Really is a very clear shift in the OG playstyle. We saw him play like the Queen of Pain, where he was completely alone in a 1v1. He is alone in a 1v1, but his teammates, the difference is his teammates are playing very aggressive in their lanes.
Welcome back. We are, of course, in game 2 of the best of 5. Top lane at the moment, S4 and Jerax having a look at RTZ. Going to be doing their best to harass him back out. Lane-wise, we've got Zai on the support Wyvern. Crit as well, making the pulls on the Rubik. The mid lane matchup, Sumail, Ember Spirit up against Ana's Shadow Fiend. Sumail actually getting in close and personal, and well, ooh, fairy fire, boys. Ana, can he juke this one out long enough? No, he can't. He's out. Sumail, he'll pay with his life here, but he's going to be more than happy with that one. Picking up first blood in the solo 1v1 in the mid lane. At the same time, S4 actually dying on the top lane as Zai, Crit, and RTZ made a movement in. So EG getting first blood and also getting a second kill up top.
Yeah, already some change. TP back in, and Ana is going to have his work cut out for him, matching up against this Ember Spirit. Now there's a first blood, not just a first blood, but a smoke rotation coming towards his mid lane.
EG playing super aggressive. Crit has a DD as well here. Ana in a lot of trouble if Crit can find the vision to get the telekinesis, and indeed he can, dragging him back. EG pick up a second kill, 2.5 minutes in. Ana getting taken down in the mid lane.
I guess the saving grace, you have got that No-Tail Brewmaster farming away, much like he was in the previous game. Universe getting a bit more out of this lane, though. He's already level 3.5 and opting to deny a decent chunk of the experience from No-Tail as well, using that conversion pretty actively. Yet to see what OG's move is going to be. It's probably going to try and get, like, I mean, Jerax is now level 2.5, get him level 3, maybe level 4. He's going to start rotating around and trying to be the space creator for this OG team.
Yeah, with Ana back into lane, we'll see where Jerax does decide to head. Top lane, once again S4 just getting harassed back by RTZ, comes in for a crush. S4 being able to get a decent amount of CS though in this top lane, regardless of the fact that he went down. 8 last hits at the moment on Slaughter. Jax, we'll see him head back up on his journeys up towards the top lane. See what Crit's getting up to. Still making the pulls, nearly on his way to that level 3. And Zai, with the movement into the Radiant jungle, almost certainly going to look to just get some deep warding done. Fly is coming over at a similar time and may even actually catch out Zai's movement here. Make sure that Zai doesn't get anything too much time. Yeah, he should have spotted that one out, so Fly is aware of what's going on and will do his best to beat Zai out of his jungle. Again, though, the top lane. Looks like Jerax and S4 tried to go for an aggressive play onto Arteezy, but it's cost S4 life. That's the second time that he's gone down in this off lane.
Doesn't even look like he was that close to dying. He did pop the salve afterwards, but he was more than healthy in that lane. And again, mid lane Ana being just bullied by Sumail. Push back, he's trying to get to the shrine, can barely make it. Yeah,
thanks to Fly's presence, holding back this Sumail Ember Spirit, playing incredibly aggressively. So getting that shrine down them. Putting themselves into a healthier position, back towards the mid, but hey, look at this. Zai, the Invis rune, see if he can get an opening. Ana coming forward, indeed, Flame Guard, and chains it up, and immediately going for the kill. Ana being brought down low. There will be a rotation coming through from Jerax, and this time Ana will survive.
OG beside, taking him down with that rotation. Fantastic pickup for the EG squad.
Lane Sumail going aggressively here with the Remnants. He's now in fact out of mana. Ana doesn't quite get the raise.
Or some kind of cold embrace to save Sumail. And then he had it there for when the Remnant came through. So he still had vision of Sumail, and he was even there with the Cyclone if needed to chase Sumail down. But to make sure that the Weaver did not get another Shikuchi off. Perfectly timed. And as a result, EG there, they come out on top. Arteezy doing a lot of damage there. His build makes him perhaps almost a top target in these fights. The problem is both Arteezy and Sumail both dish out a huge amount of damage, and it feels like OG can focus one, but perhaps not the other. The Savage Roar helps protect Arteezy. They've got the Guardian Greaves as well, the Cold Embrace. They've got good defensive tools, and OG need to be careful about how they approach these fights. They didn't get the best Requiem off with Ana. He maybe needs to try to get on top of them and synergize with the Slider Crush, but EG were just very good on the defensive.
You know, OG now to get offensive, moving into the jungle. Sumail reaching up Jerax. Arteezy coming in as well. Will send him back with the fear. Notel tries to finish off Zai. The Cold Embrace is there in time, and now the turnaround. They'll go for the lift. Fly with the swap to save Notel. S4 came in with the crush as well, but the root onto 2. S4, he's out. And OG, they're going to be losing more as Fly's chased down as well. A second death. OG getting punished for their aggressive play as they chase down EG into EG's own jungle.
Very deep. You're right by a tier 2 tower. I think OG felt okay with it just because they had a good vision around the area. The observer ward there sees a lot, but they didn't have the split just yet. It was about 5 seconds away, and Venge had to just swap just to save Notel.
They're not done yet with this high ground observer ward. They see Notel, swap him back into their grasp. EG picking up a third off the back of that. Roshan is up, and that could very well enable them to have the opening to go in and finish it. A lot of damage is there on Artor. OG, can they contest it? That's the question.
If they get there fast with a buyback on Brewmaster, I'd say they definitely can, but a buyback on Brewmaster is very costly at this stage of the game, especially considering Notel is not all that farmed.
They know the state of it. They want to go by the looks of it. Sumail does have an invis going that allows them to catch off Ana at the start of it. Immediately going in with the telekinesis. There'll be a Fly swap, getting Ana out of harm's way. Fly has to give his life for the cause, though. He saves Ana, but he loses his own life. EG now moving back into the pit.
They've got Brewmaster. They're going to shrine up and look to contest this one.
Can they do it here? OG with the perfect jump in. EG are bringing Roshan down low. The bugs are still out, so OG know the situation. They're trying to look for the long wraparound from the side. Can they time the jump perfectly?
Goes back up.
Universe has got a black hole, so OG have to be careful. Sumail jumping in with the slider fist. Indeed it is. EG will claim Roshan. Arteezy picks up the Aegis. We'll see if OG can find any kills off the back of it, though. They will be able to take down the bear. Instantly resummon. Towards Universe.
Be careful.
Yeah, indeed, he's getting focused here by Artor and Sumail. He'll look to try and go for the ultimate, but immediately the Savage Roar is there to cancel it. Chris there with the wraparound, lifting up the Shadow Fiend. Ana tries to turn and fight, but a quick slider fist from Sumail finishes off the Shadow Fiend. So EG secure.
After earlier swap save the SF, it could be very different. They just didn't have the vision control around the area. EG have observer ward sentries, multiple observer wards in fact, and that area was just so well contained. that was such a safe Roshan for getting. Unless OG made a perfectly timed initiation of the Roshan pick as it was low, they'd have to have done so blind. It was a very just like easy Rosh for EG, and now they're ready to press forward. This long range sniper lone druid just so hard to deal with, so hard to get close with him. With a Mjolnir, his damage output really starting to amp up.
And EG need to do some damage up to the high ground tier 3s. Fortification will come out from OG.
Not the bear so much anymore. Perhaps when sieging it still does some decent damage, but it is not easy for OG to fight into
Jack
EG anymore.
is using the space given up on the map to get some farm out for the top lane, and
He's got his axe.
he has got it. 25 minutes in, considering all things said and done. It's a fast time for this support roaming weaver.
Still No-Tell who's really suffered as a result of how this game's developed. He's been forced to play that space creating role and really help the SF get farm, but it's really come at the cost of his own farm. Still no Vlad's bottom 3 in overall net worth. Hasn't played poorly by any means. It's just been a tough game, and the way things have felt for the OG side. Well, D-Ward's some of this dire vision, but still a lot more needed.
What do you think about this decision from Ana to get the fully fledged Silver Edge early on this game?
Looking at what he's up against, no amazing things to break. It's a bit more just for the stats, the lower cooldown as well, but realistically I think it was just one of those things where it's like there didn't seem to be an obvious item he needed. I think BKB is really important against all of these heroes. Yeah, there's a Black Hole to go through, the Entangle theoretically goes through, but there's a large amount of magic damage, and the Ember Spirit alone is like should make you want to get a BKB. But he's going for more like raw stats type approach.
OG grouping up around the tower. They do, yeah, they've got a smoke on flight.
We'll have to see what the Weaver can do with this timeline tools. And their physical damage is definitely not to be forgotten when you've got Slaughter with the SF, 2 minus armor heroes, the Vlads to amplify. You won't expect OG to be on top of them this fast. S4's ready to go with the Blink Rush. But with an Aegis, Arteezy is not the ideal target to initiate on.
And EG know that, putting them at the front lines here. Making OG seriously question how they go for it. S4 does see the opening, jumps in onto the back line, finds Crit, immediately those eyes there with the Cold Embrace, keeping Crit alive. He's able to get himself out as well, immediately removing himself from the fight. A Winter's Curse onto S4, bring him down low, Fly will swap him back, making sure the last few hits from the team don't come through. So he does manage to save his teammate.
OG need to get the hell out of this one. They've killed nothing and everyone on Aegis full HP.
Yeah, and out comes the end of the primal split there. No-Tail caught as he was very, very deep.
Oh, it's stolen by Rubik too. Crit gets his hand on a big, big spell for this upcoming push.
40 seconds without the Brewmaster as well.
EG have everything. They still have a lot of their ultimates. Just the Winter's Curse being used. They lose the Aegis though. But even so, defending right now looks very difficult for OG.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge push here. Crit actually already blinking him forward here with the telekinesis into the primal split, setting up onto Ana, who thought he was safe deep behind the tier 3, but Crit just jumping forward, using the ult immediately. Beautiful play, and that will secure EG this top lane of Rax. No doubt about that.
Will they be able to go for more? It doesn't look like they're going to go to anything else immediately, but it's so hard for OG to engage. There's that constant threat of a Black Hole, and you don't need to actually use Black Hole for the spell to be effective when OG just can't group up. If they all 5-man go on someone like a Lone Druid, that's setting up Universe for that 5-man Black Hole. So very hard to engage, and EG looking for that second lane now with no SF.
Jumps in, immediately S4 there with the response, but Crit with the response to the response. Universe just straight up using the Black Hole, but there's the Axe time lapse. Takes S4 out of it. He'll be fine, and EG actually having to back up now. OG can't quite punish it though. EG too speedy there with their removal of from the cells of the fight. And we'll just back up and keep it cool after that bit of a hasty play towards the mid lane.
Everyone's stacked with gold. Everyone on the EG side after
they
playing
are,
Arax is
fine.
like 2 to 3k gold on every hero, so this is where you start like picking up a couple more items. Lone Druid's about to die BKB, it looks like. Sumail has a Shiva's Guard queued up, and again, all you have to do is stay alive to dish out damage. No one's got BKBs on this Radiant side yet, so Shiva's Guard armor is the solution. It's all in on the physical damage at this point for OG.
On top of the Ags, Weaver. Jarrett's with the Solar Crest as well.
Yeah, I mean, Jerix's farm is fantastic and all that,
Yeah.
but he's playing a utility. If he'd gone into, I'm not saying necessarily should have gone into more Koran, it's the fact that he's the second most farmed hero on his team, but he's master as well getting farmed. So OG's farm distribution is just not where they'd like to see it right now.
Universe working towards the Lincoln Sphere. It's going to make it that little.
It means he can counter initiate, and it's typically the vent swap being held onto to counter a black hole. And once that crush is more.
Alright, EG. All the tier 2's taken. They'll move now over to the shrines. RTZ, 18,500 net worth. A clear 4,000 ahead of that of Anna's. And a fair bit ahead of No Tail this game. No Tail with nearly just under half. You're going to suffer. If you aren't finding the momentum early on, he's just not a hero that farms gods.
Sneaky little courier find from Jarix. He's just farming the enemy jungle, taking their bounty runes, and suddenly finds a courier waiting at that secret shop. So slow down some of these item pickups. Looks like that would have been, yeah, the ultimate. I mean, Universe can still get it. He has his items in his stash, but the Shivers recipe for Ember was on that courier, so won't be able to pick that up for a couple of minutes.
I guess the good news, though, for EG really, with this sort of pace, they don't mind waiting a couple of minutes. It certainly doesn't feel like EG are under pressure
Well,
to do
they're
anything
waiting for Roche,
soon.
you know, that's going to be the big claim for them, something which they fought very well around. They haven't got the vision around the pit just yet. That's probably on their mind, like, all right, let's get ready to use our smoke. Roche will be respawning soon, get some wards up around that pit, and set ourselves up to take game number 2 and even up the series.
OG, understandably playing very scared at the moment as they're kind of just grouped up near to their high ground. They're coming up and down these stairs here, though, so one of the reasons why they are now coming out again out across the map. And yeah, it's this farm project. It seems that they feel as well with